When businesses invest in solar, most people think the job is done once the panels are all installed. After all, you've generated clean energy, reduced your electricity bills, and made use of your rooftop. Sounds like you've maximized the value of the assets, right? But actually, not really. The truth is, installing solar panel is only the beginning. Like any long-term asset, solar panel needs to be managed. So their performance changes over time. They degrade, and the decisions you make over the next 20 to 25 years ultimately determine how much value you get from your initial investment. So how do you know if your solar system is performing the way it should be? When should you maintain it, repower it, or even recycle your solar panels? Most importantly, what should businesses be doing today so they're not caught off guard years down the road? So welcome to the episode 2 of The Edge, where we speak with founders, engineers, and industry leaders to uncover what's really happening behind the energy transition. In our first episode, we had Tuya, where we explored the demand side of energy and how IoT helps businesses gain visibility to their energy consumption. Today, we're shifting to the supply side and diving into the full life cycle of solar assets. So let's get into it. So to unpack this, we have invited the expert in this field, and joining us today is Stanley, founder and CEO of EtaVolt, a Singapore-based deep tech NTU spin-off startup developing patented innovative technologies to extend the life cycle of solar panel through regeneration and recycling. Vector Green itself is a strategic partner and also investor of EtaVolt, so we've had the opportunity to work very, very closely together. So hi Stanley, thank you for coming and being here. Maybe you can do a short introduction of yourself.
Yeah, hi, I'm Stanley, founder and also CEO of EtaVolt. We found this company to enhance the circular economy and also sustainability for the solar industry, and very happy to be here.
So we are more delighted to have you here. So actually, we have a bit of questions to ask you because maybe the audience here also wanted to know more about what is regeneration, what is recycling, and how did you actually achieve it. So maybe we start, before we dive into the technology, right, let's start with your journey of building EtaVolt itself. Yeah. So EtaVolt itself, as I mentioned earlier, it actually came out of a research from NTU, right?
Yes.
So what was it like taking something, from the lab to the real life and turning it into a commercial business?
Yeah, thanks for the question. So for EtaVolt, we are an NTU spin-off company and focus on patent and also technologies. So to commercialize this technology, initially the technology came from the lab, and after that there could be a scale-up process, and sort of like we call it a TRL level, so technology readiness level.
Okay.
So initially in the lab could be a 3 to 4, highest, and then after that we scale up, and then finally to reach out to test bed stage could be a 7 to 8, and finally to get it out in the field. So I think it's a journey, and then this is something that researchers and technologists want to see, is to bring a lab-grown product into a real world, and also to have the chance to industrialize and commercialize and making a real impact. So I think what we learned from NTU, our host university, is that three things: creating technological impact, and also environmental impact, but commercial impact is equally important because that gives us the opportunity to have technology refresh, and also to have gain tractions within the industry.
So what was the hardest part to bring your idea, your technology from the lab to commercialize?
Right, so definitely is the scaling of the technology, because in the lab we are dealing with a few panels, for example, but to commercialize, the process has to be robust and has to be with a high throughput and with the proper documentation and procedures. So there's layers of challenges to be solved, so that the product can, all technology, right, can be implemented in a commercial way.
Okay, that's very interesting. So actually, the another thing that I wanted to ask is because we are talking about recycling, right, here and regeneration.
Yeah.
So assuming that the roof itself already have a solar, so it's like what to do next when we already have a solar. So actually, Singapore itself has installed solar panels over a decade now, correct?
Yes.
And many of those systems are, I assuming it will begin to age at certain point of time because the technology is keep refreshing.
Yes.
And the latest and the newest one is, I mean, just like your phone.
Yeah.
Every year got something new, something like that.
Sure.
So in that case, right, like in your opinion, what should businesses need to think about today that they are most likely haven't thought about it, about their solar assets on their roof?
So one would be is the technology or the solar panels that we are using, are they still relevant? And I think I would like to categorize them into two different categories. For example, some of the asset owner might have like capex for deployment, and then in that case, they can think about upgrade from a low power solar panel to high power solar panel. For example, from 250 watt to now could be 600, 700 watt. But there could be also another group of asset owners who don't want to deploy more capex. Then in this way, they can try to maximize the output from the current assets and try to get most of the efficiency and profits or the revenue out of the solar panels. So in this case, maintenance and also proper monitoring become important.
That's quite interesting because maybe a lot of people think that, okay, once I install a solar panel, then that's it already. I have saved a lot of money from electricity, but they don't know whether after installing 5 years or 10 years, is it still good?
Right. So in general, the older batch of solar panels, they may say 10, 15 years ago, they were not as robust, right? They face degradation mechanisms. But for now, the technology has been much more matured. So if we purchase, the new type of solar panels, normally they are pretty robust. And they have warranties, and so it's much more safe to deploy and then enjoy the benefits of having the renewable energy.
Okay, so because you also mentioned earlier about degradation, right? Can you maybe explain a bit more about what is actually panel degradation and what solar owner needs to know about this degradation?
Yeah, so there are many forms of degradation. The well-known one could be LID, LETID, so it's like light-induced degradation or the temperature-induced degradation, but there could be a potential-induced degradation, so there are many different types. And once, depends, there could be a severity in different degradation mechanism. For EtaVolt, we focus on solving the light-induced degradation mechanisms. And we have a product called regeneration, and the technology is through the hydrogen manipulation control. And this technology is able to minimize the degradation outcome and also have the potential to boost the performance of the solar panel. Right.
So for the light-induced degradation, right, is it the most common in Singapore or is it like common in the world?
It's common everywhere because as long as there's light, there could be a degradation mechanism associating with this.
So for example, like by right, like a solar panel should have last for 20 or 25 years, let's say. So with the reality situation, usually at which year actually the panels start to lose the power?
Yeah,
slowly?
actually, every year the panel is losing a little bit of power. It's very normal. But yes, you are right that the panel can last for 20, even 30 years. And just that the performance might drop, or some of the advanced new structure panels, the degradation rate is really slow. So it depends on the technology, whether it's older tech or it's advanced tech.
Okay, that's interesting. So maybe we move on a little bit from the regeneration to the recycling, because just to give a context to the viewers also, that EtaVolt itself has commercialized 3 lines as for now in Singapore, which is very remarkable. So because you've developed your own recycling technology and have commercialized it in Singapore itself, right? So what actually makes your recycling technology approach is different than in the current market? And how has the market responded so far? I mean, in Singapore, obviously it's good because it has adopted, but maybe you can also share more about attractions outside of Singapore as well?
Yes. So for EtaVolt, we have sold 3 full lines in Singapore, and of course our target is to scale up overseas. The main advantage we have is that the machines that we put together are with a very small footprint, so it's very suitable for Singapore,
Don't
factories.
have a lot of land.
Yeah, and also is efficient, low cost, and the newest line we sold is together with the inspection function. So it means that we collect the solar panel, right? We want to know which one is worth recycling and which one can be reutilized. And then with the inspection function, we are able to test the performance of the solar panel, and then the functional one can be maybe deployed in the market, maybe not in Singapore, elsewhere is possible. And if the panels are no longer functional, then we will put them into the recycling line and extract the material. So it's more like a material conservation, reservation process than just like destroy or landfill. Yeah.
I think because it's also quite interesting that you have the inspection tools, because maybe people think that whatever we do, I mean the panel is we want to change the panel, so then we just recycle, but they don't really know whether there's still another potential to be, for example, resell to the second-hand market.
Yeah. So reutilization is definitely, there's a market there. However, I would say that without proper inspection, then we are shooting in the dark. We don't know whether the panels are still functioning well. So I think it's very important for the recyclers to consider this, because then they are able to sell at a higher price with every panel have its own report and also documentation. Yeah.
So basically this unlocks even more value for the recycler, other than just, for example, getting the material from the recycled ones. Then they can also do the inspection and get
That's
more.
Right. So it's like second-hand clothing. We want to utilize it to the day that the clothing is no longer serve a purpose. But also that some of the damaged clothing could be worth more than the vintage one can be worth more. But this won't be the case for solar panels. But you get what I mean.
Yes, understand. So actually, just to give a bit of context as well, the recycling line itself is actually something that is very close to home for us at Vector Green as well, because last year we did a collaboration project, which is the project SolarRef, with another partner as well called Redux, which is the recycling e-waste recycler as well. So we work very closely together there, and as Vector Green itself, our role in this project is actually to do the decommissioning of the panels and then send to the recycling facilities, where the recycling facility itself will use EtaVolt solutions. So that's where the kind of the strategic partnership is going on between Vector Green and also EtaVolt, and how we complement each other. So in this case, from your side, right, Stanley, like what does the business actually need to be doing today so that when their panel reach the end of life, right, they're not just like they don't know what to do, for example. Maybe as you mentioned that can find some e-waste recycler that can do inspections, is it?
Yes. I think before the e-waste recycler inspection, we need to maybe consider inspection on site. So there's the project that EtaVolt is currently working on is to have a cleaning robot, but the cleaning robot is together with the inspection function. So we are able to issue like a health check report for the asset owner to like have actionable insight. So when is the best time to recycle or regenerate or to make certain decisions? Then these inspection on site become important, and the benefits is because cleaning is required, let's say every year. So it's like, by the way, cleaning and doing the inspection at the same time. So before the panels, let's say, reach to the recycling phase, then I think before that, decisions can be done. Yeah.
So this robot will be on top of the panel, is it?
Yeah, it will be like a
okay.
solar cleaning robot, and then the solar cleaning robot, the main body actually carry the inspection function.
Okay, so this one need to stay tuned to know
Yeah,
more
yes,
from
yeah.
EtaVolt.
So hopefully end of the year, early next year, we will have the product ready for deployment.
Okay, that's so cool. And if you want to know more, please follow the EtaVolt's LinkedIn and
Yes.
also website.
Yeah. Thank
Okay.
you.
So now that the technology is already commercialized, you have a lot more project in the pipelines as well in terms of the product that you are developing, right? So what is the next bigger ambitions or chapter for EtaVolt? This is also the last question of this segment.
Okay.
Like,
Yeah.
where do you plan to bring EtaVolt from
Yes.
here?
So definitely, we are looking for global channel partners and collaborators, and definitely we want to grow, into the international market, and more patents and better products, and then more customers will be the goal.
The goal.
Yeah.
Okay. So for maybe the listeners out there and viewers, if you want to become EtaVolt's partner, maybe in your country, Germany, Italy, or wherever you are in the world, then you can contact us,
Yes.
and also we can talk more about that.
Yeah.
So okay, sorry, I have another question. So what do you think will be the next big trend in solar energy space? Because I heard before when you talk on stage as well, you mentioned that last time, few years ago, you say the next big thing is recycling, right?
Oh yeah.
That's how you started EtaVolt.
So going forward, it could be upcycling. So the next stage from recycling, and definitely in Singapore, the BIPV. So the building integrated photovoltaic will be a big one, because I think in Singapore, once the horizontal space
Don't have
is
so much space.
fully utilized,
Yeah.
then the only way we can do solar would be vertical, right? So I think that would be the trend in Singapore. And of course, they are all like third generation products, like perovskite, tandem solar cells. They are picking up a lot of momentum. So I think that those are the area that could be dominating going forward.
So will EtaVolt also touch that area in the future?
Definitely, we will do. We will, follow the market and also respect the market. So for us, I think we will focus not only on recycling, but start to look into the upcycling. And for regeneration, we are developing this N-type regeneration. So instead of only P-type, now we can also look into regenerate N-type panels, and also inspection, right? Because I think advanced inspection will be always the key to make decisions. Yeah.
Maybe about upcycling, can you give a little bit more context about what do you mean by upcycling here? Maybe the viewers not very
Okay, so let's say the
familiar.
recycled silicon, the silver, can be utilized in other manner, right? So I think with this, we collaborate with the NTU, and also look into this area. But for this area, we are still navigating, because it will be in the future pipeline. But for now, we focus on selling more of the what we have is the EtaPort, the recycling.
The recycling line.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So once we figure out the upcycling part, once we have the technology confirmed,
Yeah.
then we can update.
Okay.
Yeah, in the next podcast or something.
Next podcast, yes.
Yeah.
Maybe next year's episode.
It could be, yeah.
Few more years episode down the road.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we're moving to the next segment of this podcast. So I
Yes.
will just ask one questions that I would say if I'm a solar asset owner, I really want to hear from the expert, because I mentioned before that you're the expert in this field.
Thank you.
So because you have been in this field for more
I
than
try to be
how
not
many
too
years?
not too long, still young, but it could be 20 years.
20 years, yes, 20 years.
Yeah.
Okay. So the question is, right, if a business already have a solar panels installed today, for example, I am a factory owner and I already have a solar panel, right? So what's the one thing that they are probably not checking or realize that actually you think it's very important for them to start to think about it, about their solar?
Not realize. Actually, this question is a very good. I think it's quite difficult to because okay. So if we answer this question, there might be I'm not so sure. Like what could be a good answer for this one?
Because okay, let's say okay, I don't have solar panel in my house, but maybe if I have a solar panel, maybe now my thought will be, okay. I'm saving electricity every month.
Yeah.
What can I do more?
Okay. Maybe okay. So I guess very first thing we can do is to check the efficiency of the solar panel. Yeah, because we want to know whether it's still operating at the peak condition or whether it's already degraded and we are not maximizing the revenue and the output. So that could be something that worth
they
to
must
check.
Try to think about.
Yeah.
How about like because like when I buy a solar panel, right, I assume that the power capacity is still 100%, but actually I don't know from the factory or during the installation, is there any like minor cracks?
Definitely, there could be a minor cracks or installation failure or it's very important to
also question think about. Okay, that's interesting because actually there's a lot of things a lot of ways that we can make use or utilize more of our solar lah. I mean after installations.
Yeah, that's right.
Right, it's not like after installation that everything is like done and dusted. Okay. So hopefully for solar owners out there, these are some of the things that you might want to consider and try to think about. Then if you need solutions, please call EtaVolt.
Thank you.
Okay, so we've covered the serious stuff. So now let's do a quick reality check.
Okay.
So I'm going to throw out a few statements, and based on your experience and knowledge and your expertise, you can tell us whether it's a myth or a reality. So if it's a myth, you can give this bell a ring and tell us why.
Like that?
Yes, like that. Okay, first statement is solar panels last forever.
Okay, I would say it's reality. You know why? Because in today's context, 2 years is forever. Right? So I think it's if it can last for 20, 30 years, I think it lasts forever. It lasts for enough. Yeah.
Okay, that's unpredictable. I thought it was a myth, but okay. It's forever because 2 years is already very long.
Yes.
Okay.
What I think.
Ken, second one, solar panel technology development is as fast as iPhone development.
Okay,
Means
I'll say this is definitely because when I started my journey in solar, we were using screen printed technology, and now screen printing technology is still around.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I think
it's still used.
Like one of the myths is that actually when we say 0.1% of efficiency gain, we say it's only 0.1%, but actually for every manufacturer, every 0.1%, even 0.05% counts. So, at the moment, the efficiency could be, let's say, 24, 25%. But 10 years ago, right, it could be about early 20s. So every 0.1% is critical. And every, these baby steps goes a long way.
Okay.
So I think, I think the development could be less than the iPhone, but the energy and efforts going into for every this baby step is equally important.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. Because I kept hearing that every few years have new panels with higher power or
yes.
Yeah, so I thought that it's as fast as
right,
iPhone. Every year have something.
The panels also got bigger, the wafer size also got larger. So it's not really an apple to apple comparison. Of course, the efficiency is also higher, but I guess that the step change takes longer, like than phone development. That's how I see it.
Okay.
Yeah.
As the expert says, so I will know from
Yeah,
now.
but don't quote me in the comments. Yeah, only positive comments, please.
Okay, so the next one is, once a solar system is installed, you can leave it and forget about it.
Yeah, that would be some of the approach. I think for baby projects, like smaller projects, that could be okay because the capex is not that heavy. But for solar farms, right, for gigawatts project, I think is worth to pay attention to. Yeah.
Yes, because the quantum is
Yeah,
much
it's
more bigger.
much more. Yeah,
Yes.
much more.
Okay, last one. Recycling solar panels will eventually become mandatory.
Definitely, yeah, because we see countries stepping up with the measures, regulations. So eventually, this recycling of the solar panel will be compulsory and mandatory.
Okay, because I think in Singapore now it's already classified under e-waste.
Yeah. Yes.
Solar panels are under e-waste,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So cannot just throw to the landfill anyhow. Now it's got some regulations.
Yes.
Okay, so actually that's about it for the podcast episode today.
Oh, cool.
So it has been very fascinating conversation with you. We started
thank you.
talking about how solar is much more than just installing panels. It's
Yes.
about managing the assets throughout the
Yeah.
entire life cycle,
Yeah.
including the decommissioning and the recycling to maximize both performance and also its value.
Yeah.
So to close this session and this episode, right, if our listeners to remember just one thing from our discussion today, what would you want to be the takeaway be?
I would say we need to thank what the nature gave us, which is the sun. So there's an abundance of energy from the sun, and but the materials are finite, right? So
Yes, correct.
Yeah, the materials go into manufacture solar panel. They are limited. So I think this circular economy and sustainability is very important because then once we are able to do to make it circular, then we will have endless power and energy for the future. Right?
For the future,
Yeah.
yes. It's also for the future generations.
Yeah, yes.
To come.
Definitely.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's a wrap for today's episode.
Thank
so
you.
Stanley, thank you so much for joining us
Thank you.
in this podcast
Thank
and
you,
sharing
Giovanni,
your insights
and thanks, Vector Green.
and expertise with us. So if you like to learn more about EtaVolt and their work in solar panel regeneration, recycling and future products, right, be sure to follow them on LinkedIn. I will share the link in the comment and description box, and also visit their website. So thank
you.
you so much, Stanley.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
And when will I be back again?
See, I think if there's a lot of comments,
Yeah.
you'll be back.
Okay. So the next time we will send our product manager
to come and
to come.
talk more
Yeah, to
about
talk
the
more
product.
about the product. And by the way, the nickname of the product manager is called Cheerful and Positive. Yeah,
Yes,
so
we'll
we will
be sure
waiting
to
for him.
invite the Mr. Cheerful
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Positive to this podcast.
Okay, great. Thank
Okay,
you.
thank you so much.
Thanks. Thank you.
Installing solar only the first step. So maximizing the value of your solar assets takes the right strategy and ongoing management. If you're a solar asset owner and you're unsure of how your system is performing, what's your asset are worth, and what's your next step should be, we'll be happy to help. Simply click the link in the description below to get in touch with Vector Green. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share with someone who would find it valuable. If there's a topic you'd like us to cover on the next episode, a guest that you'd like to see on the edge, or if you'd like to be featured on this podcast, drop us an email at the address in the description below as well. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next episode of The Edge. Bye bye!